All right, I'm Old Grog, and I am a 50-year-old dude, been married 25 years, pastor of the same local church for 20 years, business owner. I've raised 4 kids who still walk with the Lord and are doing great. So that's who I am. I am on a mission to help young Christian husbands and fathers succeed and do great. That's what I'm about. And so that means I'm only talking to young Christian husbands and fathers. So if this is of interest to you, welcome aboard. Today's topic is, how do I guarantee that my household succeeds and stays faithful? That's a big question. How do I guarantee it? The first thing I would say is there's no guarantees in life that this is going to happen, but there is a way to operate in faith and obedience that says, I believe that God has a destiny for my people, for my household, and He's given me instructions through the scriptures. And if I am operating in faith, walking in obedience, trusting Him, and then on the daily carrying out certain activities and doing the things that I see in the scriptures, and if I'm faithful in my local church and I'm surrounded by other people who can call me on my stuff, then you got a really high chance of success, a very high success. I don't use the word guarantee because, man, we live in a hostile environment with a real enemy, and it's a pretty nasty situation, culture that we find ourselves building in. But I think we win. So let's keep our chins up on this. All right. I would say that the biggest threat and the biggest success variable to how my household performs and how my kids turn out is me and my heart. So on the one hand, I'm this incredible, I'm saying us as fathers, we're these incredible, powerful forces that work to shape identity and destiny and skill training and help guide and direct. That's true. And it's also true that depending on how I let my heart go, if I have a hardened heart, if I become weak-minded, if I become unfaithful, if I cherish sin, if I cherish the idolatry of my heart, then I'm the guy that will be the tripwire that will screw up a lot of stuff for my wife, for my kids, etc. So I'm this potential power for really great things, and I'm also the tripwire. So I often refer to my own heart as old tricky because it wants things in the flesh. It wants things that are that work at cross purposes to actually what God has. And so I'm reminded of Jeremiah 17 that says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Now the next verses talk about how God says, I alone try the heart. Okay, God knows it, but He knows my heart in ways that I don't even know my heart. And so I have a responsibility to, on the daily, be taking this heart of mine, old tricky, and submitting it back to the review, under the review of the Lord. So I'm consuming scripture that is keeping me rooted, right, by the streams of water so that I can bear my fruit even in the dry season and in the dew season, and I can survive the drought. But that daily connection is part of how old tricky stays like between the lines and doesn't get too far out of bounds. Being involved in a faithful local church is also part of that process. It means that if a brother of mine starts noticing a thing in me, he can be like, let's have coffee. What's going on? If my wife starts to notice that I'm starting to go sideways in some ways, she's able to go to church leadership and say, "Can somebody check on him? I can't reach him. We're not connecting." So it's also strange that old Tricky is the sort of nucleus of my household. As my heart goes, so goes my house. So if you might think about it like this, that here's old Tricky and my heart, and then I am bound, we are one flesh with my wife. So if my heart starts to go, like cankerous and diseased, it'll affect the marriage, no doubt. And if that affects the marriage, it will impact my children and my household. And now the rot is involved in my entire household unit. Well, it won't stop there, right? There's ramifications beyond that. There's like a ripple out effect. So my heart, my marriage, my household, now it's impacting my local church. Now it's impacting my business. Now it's impacting my community. So the core consideration here for a young husband and father is to be every day drawing up close to the Lord. And this is not a ritual simply for the sake of ritual. It's a ritual that if you do not put it into play, you will not make it. It's not a nice to have option, like an add-on. It is the core. So you have got to figure out, where is that daily time where I am spending significant amount of time in prayers for your people, prayers for what's going on at work, prayers for your entire world, and also where is it that I am consuming the scriptures so that I'm an informed patriarch, I'm an informed leader of my household and my people. When the question was posed, how do I guarantee that my household succeeds and stays faithful? Your best bet is that old Tricky doesn't ever get way out ahead of you. I wish that there was some other formula. There's not. That's it. It's the core. It's the core of everything that's revolving around you. And as somebody who has seen over decades, seen husbands who were faithful, engaged, obedient, they were purposed. I've seen those guys, deacons, elders, Sunday school leaders, who short circuit somewhere along the way, and 3 years later you find out they are gone. They are total AWOL, and their family is the one that's actually paying the price. All those people are suffering as a result. So it might feel a little reductionistic. It might feel a little simplistic, but it's actually at the core. It is the core. It's old Tricky. So I have something that I'll put into the notes that is a download for you, which is just sort of a daily thing that me and some of the guys that I run around with, that we do. It's like a daily confession. We read Psalm 16. We say it out loud. We have this sort of rote prayer that we just always say. And it's just a good first step into this. It's a discipline, it's an order, it's a ritual, and it's the thing that your people actually need you to be doing. Your little 3-year-old kid, he needs you to be protecting that time. He needs you focused in that way. So also there's an email address if you want to reach out. And we wrote books, we've got a community of people, we've got all sorts of stuff, but I want to make sure that you have enough ammo so that you can go on down the road and win.